All right, guys, it's Austin and Daniel here. We have some really exciting news. We have a new phase that has just started. So we're recording this on Tuesday. It'll probably be out on Wednesday. At that point, you would have done one or two of the phases. But we're really excited that Power has a new phase, and we're going to talk about that. But we're even more excited that we have a brand new phase for Push. So we have brand new workouts, new phase notes, and we're really excited to talk about that. So what we're going to do really quickly is talk about what is a phase, why do we do it, what are the push and power phases, and then how should we approach those over the next 6 to 8 weeks. So Daniel, if you'll really quickly just explain what's a phase and why do we do them?
So a phase is simply a amount of time where the workouts are designed for a specific adaptation, and that can change.
Say
over
it like
time.
you're saying it to a 5-year-old.
A series of workouts designed around 1 or 2 or 3 specific movements with a specific goal in mind.
Great. So like last phase in power, we did bench press.
Right.
So the goal was to lift more weight for the same amount of reps.
It was a phase of horizontal pressing strength for that specific workout, whereas it also included a 3-rep max back squat, which was knee dominant strength.
Yeah. So when we say adaptation, we just mean the desired outcome.
Right.
So a phase is essentially a 6 to 8 week window where we have a desired outcome that we're trying to get you to do.
That's right.
Cool. And so, so why do we do it in phases?
We do it in phases because if you don't organize a phase, you don't know what your end destination is. You don't know what your end goal is. You're just going to end up doing a whole bunch of things sort of willy-nilly thrown together. And you will get some good exercise done, but you are not going to necessarily grow in any one area or another.
Yeah, you're not going to maximize the efficiency of your time.
That's right.
Okay, so we're doing phases at Iron Tribe. We always have. They're typically 6 to 8 week windows. The goal is to get better at the specific movements or time domains that we're working in. What are we doing this phase and push and empower? And you know, you can speak to the things you're excited about in that.
So for power phase, we have a couple of main things. We have a barbell, an Olympic lifting complex, which is a squat clean plus a hang squat clean. So your 1-rep max for that complex. That was Monday's workout. We have a 3-rep max strict press, which is strength in the vertical pressing, so pressing overhead.
Just overhead press.
We have a deadlift test in, which is not so much strength focused, which is more of your, I think, aerobic capacity of can you keep deadlifting while your heart rate's up.
So more endurance
for a
focused.
longer amount of time, correct. And then I'm just checking the notes here to make sure I did not leave one out. Those are our 3 test-ins for our power phase right now.
Great. And one thing maybe talk to briefly, some people may love those movements, may not love those movements. I know that we've talked, you know, overhead press can be tricky. We have some people who should just flat out not be overhead pressing with a barbell just because of shoulder impingement, shoulder health. What can people do if they're nervous about overhead pressing, but they still want to get the benefits out of this phase?
So one thing that we can do is we can simply pull out a bench and we can continue the bench press phase. We can make that more of a horizontal bench, or we can kind of meet you in the middle with an incline bench setup and do a little bit of a hybrid incline direction. So we're still getting the pressing strength. We can ditch the barbells for dumbbells. We can ditch 2-arm for 1-arm, not barbell, but dumbbell 1-arm strict press as well.
Yeah, so I think what you and I would both want everybody to hear, thank you, that's really helpful, is, man, we have a lot of modifications. So if deadlifting stresses you out, man, we can elevate the bar to where you're not bending over as far. We could do RDLs, we could do trap bar, we could do kettlebell. So wherever you're at, you will press in life, you will hinge, bend over in life, and Olympic lifting, I think, is something that most people should be striving for just because of that fast muscle twitch. Like these are core movement patterns that I think are going to benefit everybody.
Yeah, key takeaway here is to talk to your coach about what are some modifications, what is going to be best for you, and then in the phase that you're in and your restrictions.
Great. So those are the things we're focusing on. I know one thing we're very excited about is we have a brand new cycle for push. So maybe just speak to, in the past, Push and Power have been completely independent programs. They're not communicating with one another. They don't complement one another. What's going on in the push phase right now? What are some things you're excited about?
Push and Power finally became friends.
BFFs.
The push phase, so for those of you who bounce back and forth between push and power, this is going to be music to your ears. they're going to start to complement each other a lot more.
I'm so excited.
Where previously you may do pull-ups on Monday and push, and then you're doing pull-ups again Tuesday and power. And while that may still happen from time to time, they are much more intentionally programmed together at this point. Another really, really fun change in push is we're adding a lot more strength movements. So for those of you that came on Monday, you saw something very new. It was a 5-rep max pause goblet squat.
It was
They were all on
wonderful.
3-second pause. It was wonderful. That's one thing that we don't, in my opinion, we don't quite get enough of in push with the lack of barbell, is you're just limited in the amount of weight that you can pick up through a dumbbell or a kettlebell. So to get more strength movements is absolutely phenomenal. What else do we have in push here? So some of you know today, St. Patrick's Day, the 4-leaf clover workout, that is a test in for push. We did it in power as well, but push will then test out of that workout.
That one was fun.
So for those of you who came to power today and did the 4-leaf clover workout, if you want to test out, make sure you come to push in the test out week for that one. We have a good window work. We love our window work in push. This one is nothing new to us. It's 2 minutes wall ball, 2 minutes sit up, 2 minutes max calorie on the bike. That is vintage push. That's another test in. And there are lots of ways that we can help you decide how do you get better at this workout.
And if you want to talk about,
it's not just doing more sit-ups in the test out.
yeah, and if you want to talk about quality of life stuff, like, look, 1-rep max is cool, 3-rep max is cool. 2-minute capacity tests that are movements through broad ranges of motion, I think are gold for longevity.
I
Like
agree.
someone who can crush that workout, I think is having a better quality of life than someone who can just pull one time something really heavy off the floor.
I agree.
So I know we can look at that and be like, oh, you know, like that seems really hard, but I think the benefits there are great. So in push, you talked about the movement patterns we could expect in power. Are there movement patterns that we can expect in push, or is it a little bit more styles that we could expect?
It's going to be a little bit more styles. There is going to be the movement pattern as far as that goblet squat that we tested in with. So there will be a lot of squat strength going on, whether that be on 2 feet, whether that be on one leg. There's going to be a lot of knee dominant strength stuff, which is crucial.
Yeah, super. It's really important.
Super crucial there. But for the most part, it's going to be styles. It's going to be capacity tests, which is a lot of what push is. So for instance, the final test in that we have here is burpee, swing and press, and 400-meter run. Not a strength workout whatsoever. It is a full body movement in our burpee, swing or press, followed with a 400-meter run. Can you keep that heart rate high? Can you come back in from your run, recover in time to do your swing or press again? So that's one where it's not going to be about necessarily getting to the next color division, but it's simply going to be, can you move through this safely, faster?
Yeah, I think that's wonderful. So thanks for the update, and just want to say to everybody, we're very excited about the phases. I like that we focus on phases because it just takes the guesswork out of it for you as our members. You're not having to ask, what should I focus on? We're taking care of that. All you need to do is show up. So it sounds like if you're wanting to get better in some of those strength-focused movements, you know, pressing, hinging, and an Olympic lift, you know, power is going to be your jam. If you're wanting to still get to work on strength, but also work on some more conditioning and capacity work, man, let's get in push. And don't sleep on power on its conditioning days. So I think that can often be overlooked. You know, we have our focuses of the phase, but often, you know, on the A weeks and B weeks, there's 1 or 2 days which are amazing capacity and endurance conditioning days. And I think for you to get the full benefit of the program, you can't miss out on those days because those are integral to how your body gets stronger and how your body recovers. And so I just don't want to paint a false divide there of one class is going to be conditioning, one isn't. They're just going to have different focuses and they're going to have different setups. Daniel, we talked about what is a phase, why we do them, the ones we're in. Do you have any closing comments or things you'd want people to know about the upcoming phase or how we can help them in the next 6 to 8 weeks?
I think that based on the last thing you said, how can we help them in the next 6 to 8 weeks? Guys, we can help you in, I think, more ways than you think. You just have to let us know. If you have things that are going on physically or even emotionally or things going on outside that may be affecting your performance, come talk to us. We have other ways to help you through the workout other than cues about your movement patterns. We have different approaches to these workouts that could be the secret weapon that you've been looking for. Talk to your coach. We want to help you. That's literally what we're doing here, is helping you guys. So let us know on that. As far as the phase, I'm really excited for it. I think this is a great phase. I personally like the clean complex that they offer in power. I like the deadlift workout that they offer in power, where it's not going to be quite as heavy as the last phase, but a little bit more of a grinding deadlift workout.
I think it's the perfect way to do deadlifts. I'm so excited.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah. I would just add to what Daniel said, closing thoughts on my end would be, let us know your specific goals, because we know how to help you approach the workouts to hit that. So like, yeah, maybe all you can do is come to power and you don't care about a 3-rep max overhead press. That doesn't mean we can't help you approach the workout in a way that helps you hit your goals. So please know that that is not burdensome. You're not being a diva. You're not being high maintenance. Like, you are at Iron Tribe to get life change and to get results, and we can help you in almost any of our class formats. We can't write something completely different, but I think that you'd be surprised at how accommodating we could be if you just let us know, hey, this is what I'm working on. How should I approach these workouts in this phase? And we'd be happy to nerd out with you and figure that out. So Daniel, thanks for your time.
Absolutely.
And guys, we hope this was helpful. If you have any questions about the phase, call us, talk to your coach. Anyone on the team knows the phase, they know what's going on, and we're happy to help you figure that out. So we will catch you later.
Thanks, guys.